Hey there, welcome to Save the Ash Tree Training. Let's keep your ash trees healthy and protected. Today we are going on a detective tour. We're going to learn how to spot the sneaky signs of emerald ash borer, those little green menaces that are trying to take down our ash trees. But first, we need to talk about a condition that affects pretty much everyone on the planet. It's called tree blindness, and yes, it's a real thing. What is tree blindness? All right, pop quiz. When's the last time you actually looked at a tree? Like, really looked at it? Yep, just as I suspected. Today, however, many of our friends and family may not. Tree blindness is basically when trees become invisible wallpaper in our lives. We see cars, buildings, people, dogs, that weird inflatable guy at the car dealership. But trees? They're just green stuff in the background. Here's the problem. If you can't see trees, you definitely can't see when they're in trouble. Homeowners will drive past their dying ash tree every single day and not notice a thing until, boom, half of it is dead, and there are woodpeckers throwing a party on the trunk. As a tree hugger, your mission is to break through tree blindness. Your first superpower this summer, helping people actually see their trees. Be the designated tree hugger on the block. Hello, ma'am. Have you met your ash tree? It's been living in your front yard for 40 years. Signs of emerald ash borer infestation. The emerald ash borer. Detective checklist. Now let's play detective. EAB leaves clues. You just need to know what to look for. Think of this as your EAB crime scene investigation guide. First clue, scope out the neighborhood. Emerald ash borer usually travels 1 to 2 miles per year. They're not exactly marathon runners, but occasionally one gets ambitious and hitches a ride on Firewood or something. And next thing you know, it's traveled up to 15 miles. So if there's an infestation 2 blocks over, your neighbor's ash tree is basically living next door to trouble. Clue number 2, the panic shoots. Okay, earliest sign, and this is a good one. Epicormic shoots. Fancy name, but basically, these are the tree's panic response. Picture this. Emerald ash borer larvae are munching away under the bark like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. The tree's nutrient highway gets blocked, and the tree freaks out and starts sprouting these weird little shoots directly out of the trunk. It's like the tree is screaming, "Help! Making emergency leaves here." If you see a trunk that suddenly looks like it's trying to grow a beard, that's your red flag. Clue number 3, the balding canopy. Next up, the thinning canopy. This is where the tree starts looking a little sparse up top. A healthy ash tree has a nice full head of foliage. When emerald ash borer moves in, it's like the tree is going bald. You start seeing gaps, dead branches in weird places, unusual die-off patterns. The tree is having a very bad hair day. Now, important sidebar here, if you see branches dying under the canopy down in the shady interior, that's not EAB. Those branches are just not getting enough light. They're the middle children of the tree world. Totally normal for them to die off. Don't go blaming emerald ash borer for basic tree biology. Clue number 4, woodpecker graffiti, also known as blonding. All right, next clue is what we call blonding. And no, the tree didn't get highlights. Blonding happens when woodpeckers go to town on the bark, peeling it off to get at the EAB larvae underneath. Woodpeckers are basically nature's emerald ash borer confirmation service. They're like, oh yeah, there's definitely bugs in here. Thanks for the snack. So when you see these blonde patches where bark has been stripped away, you can thank your local woodpecker for doing your job. They've just confirmed EAB is home. Clue number 5, the infamous D-shaped holes. Okay, you've probably heard about D-shaped exit holes. These are emerald ash borer signature, like their little autograph that says, "I was here." When adult beetles emerge from the tree, they leave behind these distinctive D-shaped holes. Very cute. Very dead giveaway. Here's the catch. These holes are often way up high in the canopy. You'd need binoculars or a really long ladder to spot them. By the time you can see them from the ground, the infestation is throwing a reunion party up there. So yeah, helpful clue, but not always practical. And now for the final clue, the one that makes us all sad. When bark starts falling off and you can see these serpentine galleries underneath. These S-shaped tunnels are what emerald ash borer larvae carve out as they munch their way through the tree. It's like a terrible modern art installation. And if you're seeing this, the tree is in the ICU. This is late-stage infestation, folks. At this point, the tree is usually too far gone. It's basically Swiss cheese under there. Section 3. Can we test for emerald ash borer? The $500 question. All right, let's talk about the question you'll get asked approximately 47 times this summer. Can we test my tree to see if it has emerald ash borer? Here's the deal. Every single ash tree that doesn't get treated is going to die from emerald ash borer. We're not being dramatic. Over 100 million ash trees have already died. This beetle doesn't take prisoners. Testing versus treatment. A math problem now. Can we test? Sure. We can send a professional climber up into the canopy to look for signs. That'll be $500 per hour, please. Meanwhile, preventative treatment costs a fraction of that. So you're basically asking, do you want to spend $500 plus to confirm what we already know, or do you want to just treat the tree and save it? The math is pretty simple. Treatment wins every time. You wouldn't pay $500 to confirm your house is on fire when you could just put out the fire, right? Can my tree be saved? The 30% rule. Now for everyone's favorite question. Is my tree too far gone? Here's our rule of thumb. If the tree has lost more than 30% of its canopy, we're in probably not worth it territory. Under 30%, we've got a fighting chance. Now let's be real. Treatment isn't a magic resurrection spell. Whatever's dead stays dead. We're stopping the infestation and helping the living parts recover. We can't bring branches back from the dead. We're tree doctors, not tree necromancers. But here's where it gets interesting. It's not just how much is dead, it's where things are dying. If the crown, the tippy top of the tree, is dead, toast. Game over. The tree has left the building. Branch tips dying? Hey, no biggie, we can work with that. What we're really watching for is the leader. That's the main trunk that tells the tree, hey, grow up, not out. If the leader dies, the tree loses its GPS. It starts growing sideways like it's confused. The whole structure gets wonky. The mysterious case of the forgotten dead branch. Oh, and pro tip, dead branches need to be removed. We've had customers who leave a dead branch up there, forget about it, and then 2 years later, they're like, help, my tree is dying. No, sir, that's the same dead branch from 2023. It's still dead, still needs to come down. This is like a bad sitcom that repeats every 2 years. Make sure your customers understand. Deadwood removal is part of the deal. And as a reminder, we don't do tree trimming. We only do injections. So they will need to contact an arborist for that limb removal. We may have recommendations on our website in your area. You can check your city. Section 5, timing is everything, the damage delay. Last thing, and this is super important, time of year matters a lot. EAB has this annoying habit where the damage they do this year doesn't show up until next year. It's like the world's worst surprise party. Adults emerge around July 1st and start laying eggs. The larvae hatch and begin their underground feast, munching away where you can't see them. August through October is when they're really going to town, eating everything in sight, because they're bigger and hungrier. But all that damage? It's invisible right now. It won't show up until next spring when leaves fail to emerge or branches don't leaf out. It's like a delayed reaction. If your tree is showing decline this year, expect a little more die-off next year from damage we can't see yet. The damage is already done, it just hasn't made its grand entrance yet. This is why we're all about early intervention. Don't wait for the surprise party. Okay, team, let's wrap this up. Here's your EAB Detective Toolkit. Breakthrough tree blindness, yours and theirs. Watch the neighborhood. EAB is spreading. Spot the panic shoots on the trunk. Look for thinning canopies, not interior branch death, that's normal. Find the woodpecker graffiti. Look up for D-shaped holes, good luck with that. Hope you don't see the serpentine galleries. Skip the expensive testing. Just use the 30% rule and watch the crown architecture. Remember, this year's damage equals next year's bad news. That's all for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's go save your trees.